Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Erik Ten Hag press conference reaction and the reaction to the news that Rasmus Hojlund is injured. I mean, look, I hate to say I told you so, but this is not a surprise to me. It really isn't. It's a massive, massive blow, but so many people were talking over Christmas, when we get our players back, we've literally lost Martinez, Luke Shaw and now Rasmus in the space of, 2 or 3 weeks? And there might be more over the next 2 or 3 weeks. The second half of the season was always going to lead to more injuries because that's what happens. And look, I'm massively frustrated. It's soul destroying and it makes a mockery of the Ten Hag out movement, if I'm being honest, because this is almost jinx levels of injuries now. I know Ten Hag in the press conference said a lot of people have got injuries, but it's the type of injuries we're getting. It's to key players. It's the spine of the team. It's relentless. And look, anybody who's thinking about sacking a manager, you're doing it based on what? On the fact that the team's not playing well because we can never build our best team. It's incredible. And you've got to ask big questions of the board again, because we had an opportunity in January to bring another striker in and we didn't, to save money. We had an opportunity in January to keep Regwell on and we didn't, to save money. So that few £1 million that we've saved from not keeping Regwell on and not getting a striker in, we will lose tens of millions of pounds if we don't get Champions League football. And what Ten Hag and the team have done is they've given us an opportunity for Champions League football that injury is probably going to take away from us. I can't speak, Simon, says Moises, and I completely agree. But this injury, in my opinion, is completely and utterly to do with overuse. Like, we've had no other striker this season. He's 21, he's only just 21, and it's a muscle injury. It's 2 or 3 weeks. But it's 2 or 3 weeks. It's a critical stage. We must beat Fulham tomorrow. We must beat Forest on Wednesday. And then we're going to the Etihad. In 1 week, we've got 3 big games. And Rasmus won't play in any of them. And you can't blame the player, because he's been brilliant in recent weeks and he's given everything for the club. But you see Rasmus being taken off. He's being taken off because he's bloody exhausted. When he goes off the pitch, he looks knackered. I don't want him going off after 75 minutes, but he gets subbed off because he's knackered. And as the Inquisition says, it's bound to happen. He's playing 90 minutes every game for a few weeks. You're going to get injured eventually. It's overuse. It's pure and simple. And what is Ten Hag supposed to do? Anthony Martial has been about as useful as a bag of cement this season. A waste of time. £200,000 a week, and he's been injured all season. Waster. Absolute waste of time. I'm not having a pop at Martial, but that's not a striker. If Man United are sat there counting their beans going, you're not having another striker because you've got Martial, he's not bloody fit. He's not fit. And then Rasmus gets injured because there's no rotation. It's incredible. And I don't know who you blame here, because I think the only blame has to lie with the club. What I will say as a positive is I don't think this is the end of Man United getting Champions League football. I think some people are overreacting because it's so disappointing. Under no circumstances do I think we're out of getting top 4. We've got Fulham at home tomorrow. We can beat them without Rasmus, and we need a big effort from the players and we need a big effort from the crowd. We beat Fulham. Forest away in the Cup's going to be difficult. If we get knocked out of the Cup, we can say it's because of the injuries. Man City away in the Cup's going to be difficult. In the league is going to be difficult. But in 2 weeks' time, we've got Everton at home. Rasmus might be back for that. He's got 2 weeks to be back for the Everton game. So over 2 weeks, he could be back for the Everton game. And then we've got Sheffield United at home, and then we've got an international break. So we can win 3 of our next 4, with or without. We're going to fight. And that's what we need. As a fan base, we've got to get behind these players and behind this team and give them the inspiration to go out there and get these results. 3 wins out of 4 in the Premier League. I'll take that. FA Cup, I'd like to win it. I'm not that bothered now. We're in a real crisis. Man City away, I'd like to get something. We're in an injury crisis. Roll your sleeves up. Let's get on with it. And if we can win 3 of our next 4 Premier League games, get to that international break, get Martinez back, get Rasmus back, and we go for it in the last couple of months. The big thing is we'll probably go and get a fucking injury to Manu or something like that, which would just, we may as well give up. I think we're one more big injury away from just saying forget about it. It's that ridiculous. What do you do without Rasmus is an interesting thing, but I want to get into Ten Hag comments, but we will talk about that now. But look, pure and simple, it's 2 to 3 weeks for Rasmus. I think it'll be 2 weeks. I think he might be back for the Everton game, which means he'll miss Fulham, Forest in the Cup, and then Man City away, which it could be worse. It could be worse. It suggests to me that this is pure and simple overuse. He's just played too much football. And when you're looking for somebody to blame, it has to be the board. No, I'm not talking about Ineos. I don't put Ineos have only just got the job. It's not Ineos's fault. This is the previous board. We've been talking all week about letting Reguilon go back. That was because of it. That was because of money. And we were talking all January about Malen, about Grassi, about Werner. You know, there were options there for 5 to 10 million that United were like, no, we're not going to do it. Erik ten Hag spoke on January the 31st and throughout the transfer window about wanting a striker, and he didn't get one. Erik ten Hag spoke about Reguilon going back, and he didn't want it to happen. Do not put this on the team or the manager or the fans. This is on the board. This is on the board who said, we don't want to spend a couple of million to keep Reguilon for another 6 months. We don't want to spend 5 or 10 million to bring someone in on loan. Well, it's going to cost you 50, 60, 70, 80 million pounds. Where's the business sense in that? Putting pennies over the benefit of the team. If we had a backup striker and we kept Reguilon, we wouldn't have a left-back crisis, and we'd have someone who could play up front tomorrow. And we haven't done that to save a few million at the expense of tens of millions of pounds. And that's how Man United have been run for years. Sir Jim Ratcliffe must be pulling his hair out because he can't do anything about the January transfer window. He's inherited this mess. What would your left winger, right winger and striker be now, says Aidan. Angelo says Garno left wing, Rashford striker, and Diallo or Anthony. Yeah, I agree. Rashford's got to step up, says Lorge. If he goes hiding, it's time to go. How can people blame Ten Hag on this? Are people really thick? Obviously, simpletons are back, says Mario. Bound to happen, exactly. This is ridiculous. Launch an investigation into why Erik ten Hag is breaking all the players. Come on, grow up. It's got nothing to do with Ten Hag. What's he supposed to do? I think the answer to the question is not as bad as some people think. Marcus Rashford needs to step up, quite literally, up front. You put Rashford up front, you put Garnacho on the left where he's more comfortable, and you put Anthony on the right, and if he plays shit, you bring Ahmad on. It's as simple as that. Or maybe you start Ahmad. I don't really care. We've got enough to beat Fulham. I'm not worried about beating Fulham. My major concern was Rasmus and how long it was going to be. We've got enough to beat Fulham with Rashford up front, Garnacho on the left, and Anthony on the right. If we're being honest, the best place we can get injuries are on the wing. We're well covered on the wing. It's about what we do up front. Forson could get his chance as well, says Dylan. Rasmus is a massive loss, but Bruno's got to step up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a cup final. Erik ten Hag said it in his press conference. It's a cup final. It's just, you know what? It's the shock and the disappointment of just that horrible tweet that pops up on your timeline. Rasmus is injured for 2 or 3 weeks. And I feel, you know what we're like now? Man United's season now, we're basically on the ice and it's cracking. We've just got to be very, very hopeful that it doesn't break under our feet. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.